Today is Thursday, October 30th. It's about 6:40 p.m. and it has been an unbelievable end of market day in the post market past the 4 p.m. Eastern Time hour, and I'm going to share with you today exactly why. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Josh. I'm just your average Joe day trader. And if this is your first time visiting with us, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and hit that notification bell so you'll be notified every time we upload a new video. Well, everybody, I've got a lot to unpack today in this video. As you can see, I am finally back in the studio. Not another night in a hotel. I'm home tonight. It feels good. I was greeted by my family, by my dogs, and happy to be here. It has been a long few days. I am actually exhausted. You can probably even hear it in my voice, maybe see it in my eyes. But I'm going to tell you what, I could not pass on putting out a video tonight because, like I said, I've got a lot to share with you. Now, I hope this video doesn't run super long. I'm going to try to condense everything I want to share with you tonight into this video and try not to take too long, but I'm just going to tell you right now, you don't want to miss this. Don't cut out halfway through. Don't skip to the end. You need to watch this one fully through because there's a lot of things that happened today and some very good positive news that I'm going to get to you towards the end of the video, as I also share with you my plan for what I'm looking at for Friday, October 31st, Halloween, and what I'm going to be doing tomorrow to prepare for next week. So let's jump right into it. We had some incredible news today, and we had some news that really didn't mean anything. First of all, you know that Trump went to Korea to meet with the Chinese president. They did meet, and guess what we got out of it? Absolutely nothing. We've heard nothing. We know nothing. Now, I wasn't expecting for Trump to go to China or Korea to meet with the Chinese president and walk in and be like, hey, everybody, we got a signed order. We have a signed trade negotiation. We have signed off on it and we're good. You know, it's like, to me, I feel like the way this meeting went was, hey, I brought you a gift. Oh, cool, I have a gift for you. Here, let's exchange gifts. Oh, this is nice. Thank you so much for bringing this gift, and thank you so much for giving me this gift. Hey, you know what? That thing I said about you last week, I didn't really mean that. Yeah, you know, I sort of didn't mean it either. And so, like, this whole trade war negotiation thing, like, yeah, we should really have a good conversation about it. So let's talk about it a little bit. All right, cool. Yeah, so you're good? Yeah, I'm good. I'm good too. Okay, you're good? Perfect. Yeah, so, like, maybe we could pick this conversation up, I don't know, next week, and we can kind of figure some more things out, right? Yeah, cool. All right. High five. Out. Peace. And that's pretty much what I think happened, because I wasn't expecting, like I said, anything in ink dry today. But a lot of people were expecting for Trump to go there and there to come out news that, hey, we've negotiated this trade agreement. We're done. Welcome back. You're talking about two major superpowers, the U.S. and China, involving trade, which really, like, we need China and China needs us. So you know it's going to probably happen, but they're going to negotiate a little bit more. Did we have probably a good meeting? Yes, I think we had a good meeting. But do we see the fruition of that meeting today? No, we may not see it by tomorrow. Who knows? You want to know what could potentially happen? Because Trump is famous for this. At 4:01 p.m. tomorrow, Friday, is when he'll announce what the negotiation was for the meeting. And it's either going to cause the market to dump in the post market and close at 8 p.m. Friday, and then we're waiting for Monday to see the volatility, when the market opens back up, or we may see it run through the roof like rocket, and the market's going to be incredible up to the 8 p.m. closing, and then Monday morning we'll be waiting to see what does the rest of our portfolios look like. So who knows how that's going to work, but that's coming, and I'm not sure which way it's going to go. You tell me. If you have something you think is specifically going to happen, drop me a comment. Let me know. Tell me what you think. Where do you think this is all going? Next, we're going to get into some charts, and I'm going to share some things with you that were super exciting. First, you're probably saying, Josh, what did you do today? Did you trade today? I did. I was out of town, right? My last day of corporate meetings. Had my computer set up, had my phone set up, had everything set up. And what do you think I traded today? Right? If there was a button that you could pick 3 different stocks and I gave you the choices, BBAI, APLD, or Tesla, which one do you think I traded today? What's the probability? Right now you're saying, well, we know for sure Josh loves APLD, and you are 100% right. I traded APLD today, and I made money in APLD for the third day in a row. Very happy about that because APLD, when it had launched and kicked up over 30, over 35 to $40, the trend changed. I couldn't trend APLD the same way it had been trending when it was less than $10 or less than $20 because there was a lot of volatility in it. I, for a long time, was making money every day in APLD because I knew the pattern, I knew the trend. Every day market would open, it would drop. When it hit the bottom, somewhere about 9:40, 9:50, close to 10 o'clock, I would see the bottom and the turn. I would buy in. I would ride it all the way up for the first hour or two, and I would sell out. Sometimes I would get in the morning and it would run all day, and it would basically just continue on an uptrend all day. Well, we are back in a trend. The trend is APLD, and go back and look the last 3 days. You'll see APLD, market opens 9:30, it drops. It gets to a bottom position. You wait for confirmation in the candles. You look at the MACD, the signal over the MACD. You look for the RSI. You look at all these signals, and when it tells you it's time to get in, you get in, and that's what I did. And I'm going to show you those stocks so you see the chart, so you see what did I do today specifically where I got in. And I didn't make huge money in it. Remember, my goal as a day trader is to make at least $100 minimum per trade per day. And if I get into a stock and I make my $100 minimum goal or more, usually I'm done with that stock for the day and I move on to the next one. And I put out, so you know if this is your first time watching this video or first time here, I put out a monthly list, the AJDT, Average Joe Day Trader, Best Day Trade Stock List. Those are the ones that I've been tracking and trending over 30 days. I'm doing the work for you and showing you which stocks I personally am getting in and out of and believe are the ones that will run with the best type of tracking and trending, just like APLD, every day for you to have the best opportunity to get in and out and make some money. I'm going to put that list up here. This is probably the last time you're going to see this list because this is the October list. I usually run it into the first week or second week of the next month, but I am working on the new list and may have it by this weekend ready to launch. If you are a AJDT member, meaning you've joined the Wall Street group or the elite group, the first level and second level, you're going to get immediate access to that list once I post it. The rest of you, my subscribers, you'll see it next week at some point when it's finalized, but you do get advanced access to that to prepare for the next week as a member. And also, just to throw it out there before we get into the crazy news I want to share with you, if you have joined the AJDT Elite group and are a Discord member, we've added is free access, which I do pay for, an Unusual Whales bot for the channel. So you can go in and run flow. You can run options. You can look at individual stock tickers. It's going to give you a lot of different information. And you have to kind of learn how to use it. It's not something you just jump right in and hit buttons and it gives you the information you're looking for. You've got to understand how to use it, and there are instructions with it. We did create a new channel in the Discord that basically gives AI picks. So whether a stock is getting ready to run down for options traders or it's getting ready to break out on an uptrend in a daily or a weekly, those will post. I post those plays in the AI chat channel, and you can make decisions based on that. I'm not telling anybody where to buy, where to sell, what to buy, what to sell, but I will share with you what I am in and out of. And part of that is just having free access to that as a Discord member. So if you're interested in joining the Discord, go ahead and hit the join button. You can sign up for the Elite group. And once you do that, go to the description and look for my email address, averagejoedaytrader01@gmail.com. Send me an email that you have joined the Discord. Tell me what your Discord handle will be. Tell me a little bit about your trading journey, who you are, your real name, so that I can log you into my charts so I can keep track of who you are. And get in now, because we're offering the Discord membership at less than $10 a month. And with paying forward some of these opportunities that cost a pretty penny, we're going to get to a point where we're going to have to start to increase the cost for the membership. So get in now while you can at basically less than $10, less than a very fancy cup of coffee once a month and a lemon pound cake or whatever you decide is the best you like, or a donut and a coffee at Dunkin' Donuts. Get in now while you can. All right, enough of that, enough advertising for that. So let me first go. Let's first go to the S&P 500. You know, I always love to start my videos showing you kind of what it's doing. So I was doing some tracking and some charting on all of my stocks, but my 15 minutes is where I love to live. So the S&P 500 in prior overnight hit 689.88 again, another new all-time high. All right, 689.70 was the day before, 689.88 the new all-time high, and I am baffled by that, especially that it's happening basically in the middle of the night. And then it kind of pulled down, ran down. Rough day today for the S&P 500, but if you kind of look at what happened, it hit a very low after running all the way down today of 679.71, and then look at this pretty good jump back up from 679.71 all the way up on this candle to a high of 684.10, closed at 679.83, but it's sitting at 683.72 right now. And what I'm going to share with you is something I've been talking about in several other videos, and this is the result of several huge earnings results today, which I'm going to share with you and show you kind of what's been going on and share a little bit more about some calls and things that kind of came out from the earnings place today. So let's go to APLD, and I'm going to show you what this did today. Here we are. Candle wicked all the way down to 32.80. Great opportunity to get in somewhere here, okay, because it broke through this support level 33.05. So you knew if it came back up and pulled past it, it kept going. This is my buy area. Back in and ran it up all the way. You could get out here. I got in and out of this twice. It went to a high at this point, 35.49. Came down, huge engulfing candle here. Got back in, ran it all the way up here to a high of 35.69. Of course, I didn't sell at the top because I wait to see what's going to happen. And as soon as you see this red candle, you get out. You have to make sure that you understand candlestick patterns. I know a lot of people don't like to, but you have to understand support and resistance levels and candlestick patterns for confirmation of when to sell, when to buy, where to be, not to be greedy, when to not overstay your welcome. But if you watch my videos, I always try to share that with you. I want to educate you as subscribers, educate you as new members. Even in the Discord, we talk about it all the time. Very important to understand that, but great opportunity to make money, APLD. So solid performance for APLD. 3 solid days that we had of nice running, upward momentum with the pullbacks, upward momentum, okay? And very happy to have taken profit. I want to say this week I made about $1,700 in total, just in APLD. Doesn't include anything else that I ran this week. But today I had to focus sort of primarily on APLD, and I got into a couple other things that I could set and forget about because I needed to focus on the end of my meetings this week so that I could finish up and get home. But APLD right now, even sitting nicely at 34.62 in the post market. I'm going to watch to see what it does through the 24-hour market into the pre-market, and most likely, if it does its drop tomorrow morning, then I'm back in tomorrow morning and let it ride. Now, here's the thing that I will tell you. I don't stress about APLD. I know APLD, what it's going to do. Unless something crazy happens that crashes APLD and then it pulls back a lot, that's just for me another opportunity to buy in more and average it down because I know where it's going to go. And we're still waiting for this to hit $40. And if you're brave, and I am in and waiting, so is my brother-in-law Carlos, shout out to him. He is in APLX. The difference between APLD is your traditional stock, and it does have about a $2, $3, $4 swing each run, each day. APLX is the 2x long, all right? It's the daily ETF for APLX, and I had been sharing with you over the last many days, you've had some opportunities to get back into this at less than $100, $91, and you could let this sit and run for a while. A lot of people, including my brother-in-law and I, are in this one and not selling it, not taking profits on it on the up and down. This is one we're leaving because when APLD itself hits $40, this thing's going to hit $160, $180, and then we'll take profit and get out, depending on what it looks like when it hits that resistance level just at and above $40 per share on the APLD side. So take a look at APLD, play around with it. Some of these you got to be very careful. So what I say about 2X's is what you have to understand is you get into them, it's most stocks, you're riding the escalator up, right? So picture an escalator slowly going up. There it is right there. That's what the escalator looks like, okay? Or if it's coming down, it's elevator down. So escalator up on a traditional stock and elevator down if it's dropping. We've all been there where we end up bag holding because you watch it go up by pennies, and then when it drops by dollars. Well, APLX Trader 2X or any 2X or 3X, the leveraged ones, ETFs, they're elevator up, but they are supersonic elevator down. And so you've got to be very careful. This is where those support and resistance levels come into play. You've got to understand them and know where they live. So I want to put this one on your radar list. Put it on your watch list. Make some decisions on it now. But there's a great opportunity. Many people missed out an opportunity on this one, and that is Pfizer, okay? PFE, all right? Pfizer is basically it's, Pfizer from, if you heard about it through COVID, they have COVID shots, flu shots, all kinds of, medical type medications and things like that. Well, Pfizer right now is getting ready to announce their earnings. Pfizer is set to really have some incredible results. Now, could it go the opposite direction and go badly? Yeah, because even look at Apple today, which we're going to look at, had a decent earnings result, but it went down initially the first run down. And I'm going to share that with you in a couple minutes. But even SoFi, when they came out, their incredible earnings results dropped down. The market didn't like it for whatever reason, but then it rebounded late in the day. And if you've watched my videos about SoFi, you know that I was in calls and I ended up taking $160 something profit. I almost lost over $700 and almost sold the calls to get out of them. And something told me, like, don't get out quick. Like, wait, you have through the end of the week. Let's see what happens. Obviously, it's starting to deteriorate, the theta and deltas and all that. But I did profit on that. Well, I am in calls for Pfizer. I bought the $25 strike, December 5th calls, and out of the money a little bit. And we'll see what happens with it. It had a little bit of a pullback. I'm down like $15 on these calls right now. But earnings on November 4th. So we'll see what happens with earnings on Pfizer. Throw it on your watch list, and I think it's going to do very, very well. And you don't have to do options on it. Again, I'm not an options guy. I'm learning options. I'm being directed and coached and taught how to do this, but you could buy shares. So take a look at it. I'm not financial advice. I'm not telling you to buy shares. I'm telling you what you could do based on what I'm doing. I'm sharing that with you. All right. I want to show you another one to take a look at and consider, and that's NVTS. And while you're looking at NVTS, you also have to look at NVTX. And I know it's a little bit more expensive, but again, this is a 2X long. And NVTS, we feel like, let me go back to NVTS. I personally feel like we have a great opportunity. 1298 is a level I have right here on NVTS. Okay, and we're below it. We were above it. We're below it right now. Like I had shared in another video, I expect NVTS potentially to drop. If it can't hold and break above this, which it dropped below today, and it's here, if it can't hold this, it's going to potentially run to about anywhere from $8 to low $10. And I think that that's where it's going. But I also want you to know that potentially, if it can get there, right here above $8, between this $8 and $10 range, this is my buy zone. Now, there's a potential I never get there. I'm not in NVTS and I'm not in NVTX because I'm waiting for this pullback. And I think it's still going to get here. So I'm giving it time and kind of managing and monitoring it. And let me see if I can show this to you a little bit cleaner. So you can see, well, let's go to the daily. There you go. All right. Based on what we're seeing, it's on this pullback drop down. I think it's going to continue to go and think we get around that $8 to $10 range. So put it on your watch list. See how you feel. We've got a gap going here. We've got to fill this gap here and get back down once that gap is filled to turn around and reverse. So I think this one's going to be a winner. You just have to be patient. I wouldn't buy into it now. I'm not buying into it now. I am waiting to see directionally over the next several trading days, potentially week or a couple weeks, to see what it does. All right, SoFi. Listen, SoFi, and I'm going to show you how I have SoFi going here. Let's go back to auto so you can see this. And it's kind of tough to see, but listen, you see my channel, okay? I did break out of this channel a little bit, and I was worried, okay, SoFi is going to start heading south, but it fooled me, and I might as well go ahead with you. Pull my channel. Oop, my channel's locked. All right. I'm going to pull my channel up here. All right, and it kind of centers it back in there for me. I'm still in that channel. Even with the pullback after earnings, I'm still in this channel. And remember, this in essence is a support level, and this is my resistance level. I still feel SoFi extremely strong. Maybe not by the end of this year, but into next year, we're talking 40, 50, and eventually SoFi is going to get to $100 per share. I couldn't tell you, I don't have a crystal ball, couldn't tell you when, but I'm just based on my analysis and based on what I'm seeing and looking at this incredible daily result over the last basically couple earnings, last three. So you could say pretty much since April, right? When we had the drop down here, which everything somewhat did on the April 2nd tariff, liberation day, where the entire market went down. We've been on nothing but a nice clean up run since then. So SoFi, put it on your radar. I am a very firm believer in SoFi, and I know what SoFi is going to do. And you can see I continue to track and trend it as it goes up, and I need to create some new levels on it, but SoFi is another one. Like I said, this video, we're running a little bit long. I'm sorry. But let me get into the earnings plays of the day. First of all, let's see here. All right, we had Microsoft. Microsoft announced earnings today. Let's get back to the 30 minutes so you can see this. Not a very positive, successful earnings play today, and it's okay. It did pump a little bit, right? It did, after earnings were announced, it did move up, but it hadn't given what everybody really wanted. So Microsoft didn't really give what people expected, and there's some talk about their use of AI and the value for them with AI. But Microsoft is still Microsoft. They're at 525.89 in the aftermarket, but didn't get the earnings results we were looking for. All right, next one is Apple. Now, this is kind of crazy. If you hadn't seen my earnings video, search for the earnings video in the history, or in my videos, because I tell you all about how to play earnings. I was focused on another play for earnings today, and I'm getting there. I'm not there yet. And I didn't choose Apple. I felt Apple was going to run pretty strong today. They did have good earnings, but initially we had a little bit of a pump up before the market closed, and then literally everyone was like, what is happening to Apple? It was the most monster red candle at 261.77. Let me go to the 5-minute and see if we can show this to you. Yeah, you can see it right here. Once they announced earnings, look at this red candle, 261.77. And then it pushed back and the buyer said, not my Apple. And the apple of your eye continued to run, closed at 271, sitting at 278. Very good earnings result. But what you could have done if you had a clear, strong feeling of Apple like I did, and if I had played this one, I would have bought it at this 261, somewhere around here, and rode that bad boy all the way up. And it's not done yet because it's still sitting at 278. And chances are tomorrow morning when the institutions open back up at 9:30, when that bell rings, you're going to see another potential punch and have Apple run even more. So we'll see what happens with Apple, but it looks pretty good now that they, got clear up there. All right, let me make sure I'm covering everything for you. All right, Amazon is the next one that I want to share with you, and look at this, amazing earning result today. They literally opened up when the market closed at 222.86, okay, sitting at 251.56 right now. But look at this incredible result. People were loving Amazon on their amazing earnings results. They met expectations more so and looking really good. They actually froze right about here. And I was kind of like, you got to be kidding me, Amazon. That's all you got? and then they continue to pump. Now, let me tell you what I did, and here's a benefit of being in the Discord if you join. I called out to the Discord members before market went to close. I told them I just jumped into AMZY. All right, now this is an options yield max. Okay, it is an ETF. I got in at $14. All right, somewhere right in here. I bought 100 shares, right? Not a lot. Took a position 100 shares, and I told the Discord members, listen, if it drops, I'm buying more, because I knew what Amazon was going to do, and I don't want to buy a $220 something stock. I wanted to buy a $14 stock and let this run, and it did. And it ran up here, and it got frozen here for a little bit at about this, $14.90 range. It hit $15.18 high, and then it bounced. Nice gap. I'll go to the 30 minutes so you can see this. Nice gap back up, which scares me a little bit because we got to close this gap a little bit, even though the wicks are there. So you could say it's not really a gap because the wick's there, but there's potential it's going to, and it already came back to here, $15.15. But I'm pretty confident when the market opens up tomorrow morning at 9:30 and the institutions kick in with their orders that AMZY with Amazon are going to run even more. And if not, when the market opens up tomorrow morning early, I may set some levels on sell orders and, of course, set my stop loss so that I don't lose the profit I'm in right now. But I called it out to the Discord members, and I know some of them got in it. Shout out to Chase for jumping in there with me. I know some other individuals did buy into this as well, and you're in profit with me. So congratulations. Good job. Good job. Congratulations to you. All right. The last one I want to share with you here is Netflix. Okay. Now you're probably thinking, why are you going to share Netflix with me, right? I'm going to share Netflix with you because it looks like they had earnings today. Well, no, they didn't have earnings today. They already had earnings. Matter of fact, their earnings result was terrible. Okay. Their earnings result, look at this. They were all the way up here, dropped all the way down here, and continued for several days running down. And now we finally got some green and pulling up. Even today shows as a red day until you go back to the 30-minute chart or the 15-minute chart and you see that it launched. Now you're probably thinking like, well, maybe it went up because the S&P 500 went up with the earnings plays for Amazon or, Apple. No, it didn't. They announced today that on November 10th, Netflix is going to do a 10-for-1 split. So people are buying the heck out of it now to be able to be in shares. So on November 10th, when it goes for the split 10-to-1, okay, let's say it's at 11.19 right now. Let's say this goes to 1200. Well, 10-for-1, $120 per share. You're going to go from a $1,200 stock to a $120 stock. And now there's two mentalities here, okay? I'm waiting for the pullback here because we've got till November 10th. We've got, basically 11 days to get to this 10-for-1 split. The stock may not hold at $11.91 or $11.19, $1,200. It's going to pull back because what's going to happen is people are going to be like, wow, I'm making a lot of money here. Let me sell it, take profit, and then I'll buy back in. And by doing that, they'll then have an opportunity to buy it a little bit lower. Well, I'm the guy who's going to buy it in the $1,000 range or wherever it is, watching it and trending it over the next 10 days, 11 days, to get what I believe is the best price in at the high. So when it does split, what's going to happen is the second rule of thumb or the second thought process is there's a lot of people that are waiting for the 10-for-1 split. And I guarantee you on November 10th are going to try to buy tons of it at $100 and whatever dollars or $90 or $120, whatever it happens to be at the time. They're going to buy many shares of it then, believing that it's going to immediately run back to $1,000 a share. Well, it's not going to immediately run back to $1,000 a share, but it potentially could get a 10, 15, 20, 25, 30% swing back up when people are buying shares at this reduced price. And that's where I'm going to benefit because I'm going to buy it at the high and take advantage of the 10, 15, 20, 25% run and probably take profit on it and get out and then let it drop back down and buy back in for my long-term hold on my retirement account. So Netflix today, right now, announcing a 10-for-1 split. is incredible news. You can see people going nuts buying it, and it's still going up in this post market. 11.20, it was just at 11.21. And so take a look at it, put it on your watch list, make some decisions. All right. But these are incredible, incredible stocks. And I think that's everything I wanted to share with you. I'm looking at my list. It is, well, the last thing I'll show you is once again got hit by my buddy that I've been in and bag holding since the last earnings play, and that is my friend Chipotle. Chipotle did terrible yesterday. Horrible, horrible. They actually had spent many weeks getting back to over $40, and their earnings result came in, and they're dropped back down to the $31 range. Today they got back up to $33 range. And when you look at the reason why they didn't do well, it's because the younger generation of individuals, of shoppers, consumers, people that go to fast food or these types of restaurants, basically say, Chipotle, you're too expensive, you're overpriced, and we're not having it. And because that happened, they're having trouble maintaining good earnings and bottomed out. So here we back are in the low 30s where I was 3 months ago and working my way back to $40. But we're going to make some decisions on this one. And honestly, I'm just going to hold on to it again because I've been in it. I've been living in it. And I think one day when Chipotle figures this thing out, it could crank. So anyway, thank you for being here. Listen, again, if it's your first time here, thanks for being here. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell so that you're notified every time we upload a new video. Hit those likes for me, everybody, please. Let's get the likes. Let's see how many likes we can get on this video. And join the Discord now. Go down, click the join button, select the Elite membership. We got all kinds of awesome stuff in there that we're offering for free to our members, to the people that are joined. And, I am in there every night and every morning throwing some plays, throwing some things out there to try to help our members making money, to be successful as traders. Plus, we have a great community of individuals that love helping each other out and are communicating within each other. And we're having a lot of fun in there. So join it now while it's under $10 per month. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Looking forward to seeing what the market's going to do tomorrow. Can't wait to give you the next day update. Hopefully, we are in the greens. God bless you. Thank you for being here. Josh out. Peace.